Hey, good evening, everyone. Sorry for a little bit of a later stream. Obviously, we are officially going to go live on a Thursday for the first time ever. Normally, this is one that we record and release on Friday. I don't think that's going to happen. Obviously, we're just going to do it live. The reason being is we've got a lot going on between obviously having a full-time job, but we're also working a show this weekend, both days. We have the uncut Tinley video to do. We have, and that'll be out tomorrow.
Probably.
Yeah, the uncut Tinley will be coming out tomorrow, so look forward to that. Saturday, possibly we have 2 other videos coming out this week. It just depends on timing because we have so much going on. But we'll have our top 5 reptiles, which are not ball pythons, on Saturday or Sunday, depending on that, and then our Halloween video will either be on Sunday, but if we can't finish it in time, if we don't feel like it's gonna be good and we have to rush, then that's not gonna happen, and we're probably gonna release it on Tuesday
night.
Tuesday night. Okay, so so that's why we're going live because it's a lot more efficient than having
Because I don't have time to edit this video.
so but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. What's up, everyone? How you doing, Macamorph? Carter's Coils, good evening to you too, and I will see you, I think, on Saturday. Graceful Pythons, how are you? And Ball Labs, Trevor, what's up? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. It should be a little bit shorter, just because, like I said, we've got a lot going on here, so. But I don't think there's anything crazy right now that's ending. Like in the next few moments. Yeah, the next thing is I think this one here, the cinnamon, it has just ended. Ironically, it kind of says what it's at, but the orange cream pie would be the next one after that. Should take a look. Wait, what? Oh, this probably had a reserve and it just went back and it just hasn't dropped off yet. That's interesting. What show? Valparaiso. So, we'll be doing the Valparaiso show. It's a Halloween themed show. Saturday and Sunday. That's Valparaiso, Indiana. If anybody's close, come see us. Alrighty. I'm on new tabs here, so. Alright, jumping into the first one is one that we showed on our last live stream, but it's actually a lot closer to ending. And its price has maintained it's a really nice price. $115 for a GHI Pharaoh Het Clown Girl. Don't know if that's gonna go nuts in the last little bit, but right now you just have 3 bids. Let me see if they're even unique bids. 3 different people. Yep. So it depends on how interested everybody is, but it could end up in a little bit of a bidding war. So I think this is well worth it. You can see what Furrow does here. It kind of adds a little bit of a different color in your shading, I should say. GHI by itself would never do this. Obviously, we don't see the Het Clown, although I'd very much like to see this as a clown. But Furrow brings in a lot of pattern disruption. I'd say it's a little bit more. A little lighter. It's more. It kind of looks like how Enchi would maybe color something in a way with GHI, but not quite as much. And it does a lot different things with the pattern. So I really like this one, and the fact that you could get something into a clown like that is really cool. It's pretty much exactly what I said last time we were looking at it. So when you're working a gene like Furrow that is not well known, but it shows itself. If it has a decent visual look to it, it can be a conversation starter if you're trying to sell people into the project and whatnot. So that, in my opinion, is worthy of mention. It's a sales tactic, quite frankly. Someone sees that it's a conversation starter, which is big because breaking the ice, during a sales type atmosphere where any of that's very adversarial. When you go to a show, people say they're just looking, right? Because they don't want to be bothered, so to speak. They don't want to be pressured. It's the same thing. Think about when you're in your shoes. When you go, to Best Buy and you're just trying to look at TVs and they come over there and bother you. So it's kind of the same thing. But a conversation, that's kind of what breaks the ice and can create connections. So I think this would be really nice one to get, and I don't think it's going to go for a crazy amount, but I could be wrong. All right, next one here is not only a very nice looking animal, but it's for a really good cause. It's from Bob's Balls too, so it's going to be some really good quality here. Actually, I think it's being run by Bob's Balls. It actually says here it's donated by KDF Reptiles, which is also really, really good because they do some of the best puzzle stuff. I got my female from them, and mine was a weirdo, or het daddy, that's what they call it. I don't like saying that name, but it's weird. But it's a pewter puzzle weirdo as well, and she just laid eggs, ironically. So they make really nice, beautiful things. Not only that, of course, you're going to a good cause here to help victims and people who lost sometimes everything in the hurricanes that just recently happened, and a lot of people, they're breeders or reptile enthusiasts, just like us. So try to think about that if you've ever lost even something small. They lost everything. So, but this, it's very good quality, and the puzzle project is amazing. I absolutely love my girl. I'm trying to go for monarch puzzles myself with the cinnamon in it. I can't wait to eventually hit that down the road here. Making the hets this year though, so that should be, with any luck, in about 3 years from right now. Like I said, this puzzle is a really nice project. I wouldn't say you've missed the boat on it by any means, in terms of you've missed the boat on it in terms of it being like huge, but most jeans, let's face it, you miss the boat on it in terms of that unless you've got 10 grand to drop into it. But you haven't missed the boat on it becoming crazy. I mean, a local show, you don't really see puzzles yet. So if you want to work puzzle, it's still a really valid thing to get into, because not everything has been done yet, and it works well with quite a bit. Another one here from Bob's Balls. It looks like it's also, it doesn't say it in the title, but these are also, I think all of this is hurricane relief funds is what all of this is going towards. So it's really cool. And this is a really cool animal too. I think the next one will be the same thing, but I'm not 100% positive of that. But this is a leopard desert ghost het clown. And I always love leopard and desert ghost because it really, leopard already brings in a lot of bold blacks, but the the desert ghost makes it even more nuts and cleans up everything. Obviously, in terms of working it, just being a het clown, you get yourself, if you want to save some money anyways, get yourself a clown het desert ghost. Work them not het to het, but you're working against the hets, so you're always going to get a double het minimum. That's always my recommendation if you want to save money. Of course, if you have the money, it's always better to go visual to visual. No doubt about that. So, but this one is from Bob's Balls. So, obviously everybody, I would assume, knows who Bob is, and he's been doing a lot of great things here. Actually, at the auctions, he donated he donated a couple things. One of them being like an original Pokemon set, which went for a good amount of money, and then he donated a card that was signed to him personally by Steve and Steve Irwin. So, and that, if nobody knows who that is, that's the Crocodile Hunter. So that went for quite a bit, and he donated all that as well. So still very, very cool stuff there. Next up, wanted to talk about this Mandarin, possible super. I think that's what they mean by the parentheses there, but Mandarin 100% het hypo, and you can see here this is bids, and it's very, very well bid on. So the Mandarin project it's been really, really sought after, but a lot of people don't understand everything that's going on here, and that makes sense because for a long time they thought that what I'm about to show you was the Super Mandarin only, but it is not. Mandarin and Hypo have been tied together for quite a bit, and that's what everybody was thinking. Now, it's still an amazing animal. It's one of the most orange animals you can possibly get, and it's a unique orange that only it gets. I am super duper happy to say that we actually just brought on board a Mandarin. It's just a pastel Mandarin right now, but I have a Hypo girl for him to go to, and I'll be holding back all those babies that have Mandarin in them, and everything will be 100% head Hypo, and, well, you know what I'm going for. So, this being a girl here, and she looks like pretty big. Purchase the female from, let's see, possibly a super. I only get Mandarin babies from her. So that could be a super, and you'll see right here, you kind of look at this and you're like, why is this animal, I mean, yeah, it's orange, right? But why is it getting so much? And that's because you can make this. You can make animals like this and this if you get the Hypo into it. It is the most orange animal in terms of that tangerine type color that I think you can get right now in existence. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're stunning. A really nice project to work. Just realize that it's not just the Super Mandarin. A lot of people thought that for a long time this was the Super Mandarin. It is the Super Mandarin, but it's also Hypo. A lot of people thought maybe that would hurt its value and that hurt people working it and whatnot. That doesn't make much sense to me. If anything, that should help its value because it's harder to get, and value isn't really anything I think that should drive what we are making. If value is all that you're looking for in terms of it, I mean, there's nothing wrong with making monetary value at all, and never let anybody tell you that there is, but it shouldn't be your primary driving force. I think that making beautiful animals and having a passion for it is what should be your driving force. So if you like the way that this looks, who cares that it took a little bit extra steps to get there? And if anything, it would help with value because it makes it harder to make. So they are very, very, very nice. Like I said, I kind of lucked into getting one myself, and the fact that this is a pretty big girl. I wish that there was, I don't see any sizes here, unfortunately. But it looks pretty big, all things considered. This looks pretty big. I mean, I would recommend if you were interested, but this is a hefty price. I understand not everybody's going to be in on this right now, but if you were, you could reach out to Tennessee Balls to ask some questions about the size, I'm sure. So, but what am I thinking? It says right here she's ready to breed this coming season. If only I could read. Go ahead and read the comments again. What's the hottest morph right now? Well, that's debatable. It's a good question, Cork but it's very, very debatable. In my opinion, we actually did a video on this. The hottest morph of all time, in my opinion, is Clown. That's of all time, and that's just because I think that and I'm not talking about monetarily here. Obviously, it's based on the fact that it's in everything. If you even go to Morphmarket right now and look at like the most available things, Clown for a recessive is just it has so much representation. It's nuts. Everybody, when a new morph comes out, says, I want to see what Clown looks like in this. So the new morph might be the hottest thing at the time, but everyone says, oh, I gotta get Clown in this. And the next thing would be Pied. So of all time then, but currently, right now, there's a lot. I mean, you could say Monsoon, Puzzle. I see someone saying Puzzle there. That is a really big one right now. That's a hot morph. Puzzle is now being the thing. Another one of the things that everybody says, I want to see that in Puzzle. I don't think it'll be like Clown ever, because ironically, when they put Clown and Puzzle together, people were, I wouldn't say disappointed, but they kind of wash each other out. So it's yeah. But yeah, a lot of people want to put it into that, but that doesn't mean it's hugely valuable. Just a Clown ball python by itself, they're a dime a dozen now. But everybody wants to put it in everything. So, some of the more hotter morphs, like I was mentioning, Monsoon, Monarch, like what I absolutely love is getting some steam. Sunset's in quite a bit of everything. That's getting to the point now where it's actually coming down in price, so I can expect to see it explode even more as it becomes more affordable for everybody else. You know, it's not no $4,000 snakes now. Yeah. But yeah, it is a debatable thing, quite. And there's so many morphs, and they're popping up all the time. So yeah, if you get a chance, you can look into the gorilla morph too. That's one that I'm really excited about. I plan to get into that one soon. I'm hoping by March that we're getting into that one and growing them out. So I wonder if any orange dream would do. If you're talking about to this, I'm sure it's been done, but yeah, I can't see it hurting anything. It'd definitely help out. Orange Dream, anything with orange, I think that another good one would be Desert Ghost to add into that, but now we're talking about layering even more things. It begins to become even harder, but these still remain awesome, beautiful animals. So is pastel outdated? No, but it is overrepresented in my opinion. Pastel is easily one of the most represented morphs. It's in nearly everything, because it was one of the first ones, so people bred it to everything. But it often gets a bad name for, just by itself. It can kind of brown out as it ages. They look great as babies. Super pastels look really, really nice. But as they grow up, they brown out. It doesn't look anything. It's one of the more drastic changes, if it's by itself, by the way. But that doesn't mean anything when you're putting stuff together. For example, Desert Ghost pastels are absolutely awesome. They're beautiful because Desert Ghost, its whole thing is cleaning up and enhancing. So that's a really nice one. It's incredibly nice, in fact. Pastel and the right things looks really, really nice. Pastel Monarch even looks really nice. It's not my favorite. I like the darker side of the Monarchs. I just say that plenty of times if anybody watches me, but I do think Pastel has its place. Yeah, Pastel DG Puzzle. In fact, I think we're going to show that later. Pastel DG Puzzle is very, very nice. Pastel works very well with Desert Ghost and with Puzzle. So it works very well, but it shouldn't be in everything. If you get my drift, it's overrepresented. That's all. And it's gotten, unfortunately, to a point where I think people are just kind of, hating on it for nothing. It just needs to be in the right things, and that's really can be said about every single thing. Quite frankly, I mean, we hit a snake. Let's imagine if you hit the most rare snake in the world, like nearly every gene, all at once. Your snake's gonna look ugly. It'll be the rarest, most powerful animal on the planet, and it will look ugly because it will be too many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak. It's just too many things pulling in every direction. So it's it's kind of that sort of stuff. So let's see. What's up, Patrick? Appreciate that, break zone. Thanks. And thank you, Aquatic Moose. But yeah, so like I said, just to finish it up with the Mandarin here, it needs a little bit of work because, quite frankly, by itself, and even the super form, I'm it's cool. It's definitely got some nice orange tints, but when I look at this right away, I'm kind of just like, okay, it's like a different form of Enchi, right? But not so much when you get the right things into it. Once you make this, it's just, oh my gosh. So just think about that in terms of other subtle type genes, although this one's a little less subtle, obviously. I mean, you can see that it's there, even by itself. So you just almost always want to pair this with hypo. That's my suggestion. It's just, don't break what's not don't fix what's not broken. Don't break what's not fixed. That's what I was about to say. Anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. Moving along to this beautiful Trojan clown. It is a proven breeder. Trojan is horribly underrated. It is. I don't understand why this genetic has not taken off a little bit more. And you can see it here. This is an adult. clown, and if you've seen an adult clown before, they don't look like this. It's a very nice enhancing gene, but it does more than that. You can see it all by itself. It's not as subtle as the other genes that enhance sometimes by themselves. Sometimes I like to say it has a little bit of that, I wouldn't say desert ghost, but maybe kinda, in terms of its brightening factor. Trojan's another one that's a conversation starter because it's a cool name, quite frankly. And it has a little bit of a visual example. It makes everything look just better. If you want to work Trojan, having a male is honestly a real good start, especially as a proven breeder, because he can come along, even if he's just something to get into other projects, and immediately start working Trojan into your collection. So it could be what I call like a stopgap male. You have him, you breed him into what you want, you get your visual example, and then once you're done and you've gotten what you need, you then move on. You move along from him and give someone else that same opportunity because you've now hit the animal that you wanted. So the Super Mandarin Hypo Clown, yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be a cool direction to go, no doubt. Alright, moving right along, and we just talked about sunsets coming down a little bit. Now this will go up, there's no doubt, but this is a super pastel sunset boy. So if you want to work the sunset project, this would be a really nice one to go. Everything you breed it to would be pastel, and then of course you'd get one copy of the sunset gene, which would just be het sunsets, unless you bred it to something with sunset in it already, or het sunset in it, of course. But having a male, I think, is always the ideal way to start when you want to work and really dig into a project, like a recessive project, because you're going to breed it and create your own hets. So if you've got ideas to put it to clown, to DG, although DG, I'm not sure if that one would be a good direction necessarily. It might be. I mean, we'll see what they look like when they grow up a bit more. But pied, there's a lot of cool directions you can go, and having a male is a good way to do that because you're creating your own hets, obviously. And eventually, you get yourself a het set. They're not much money nowadays. They've come down quite a bit. You get yourself a het sunset female, and then you're making your own. So just a really cool. Sunset's obviously a very popular gene. We were just talking about it. By itself, it's another one that people have accused of browning out, as it ages, of rusting out is what I like to call it. And it certainly does, but if you get it with the right genes, and it doesn't need too much, they will pop, I promise you. I've said this a lot, but my favorite one is the banana sunset. They are very nice and very bright. Alright, moving right along to this Hurricane Enchi Yellow Belly Clown. This one's really nice. Honestly, I would prefer it in my case anyways to be I didn't even see the belly. Wow, that's nice. But I would prefer it to be a female in my case, but in many people's cases, this would make a very solid breeder male. And Hurricane's a really nice gene. I'm going to show you some of that here in just a bit, because we're going to talk about Hurricane again here in a few snakes, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that we saw at the Tinley show. But you can kind of see what it's doing. It's very much a pattern disruptor, but it brings some cool color tinges to it too, and they work very well with Enchi and Yellow Belly. You can see it here, that this snake is a bunch of brightening genes, but it has this nice, beautiful, crisp orange, and this like lava red or rusty red river just running down its back. So cool. And its head pattern is just a straight arrow. Yeah, that's cool. It's just like a gigantic arrow, the whole thing. So clown heads are so cool. But yeah, this boy here, if you're looking for a male that's not gonna break your bank, that's still got a bit of oomph to him that you can find some use to, this would be a nice one, because Yellow Belly and Hurricane, I think especially, are really good in here. Enchi does very well with the combo. Sometimes I feel like it can do a little too much in certain things, but in this combo it does very well. I love the sides of this, how it's perfect. It's essentially in a way almost wiped out the sides, but created these little faded dots, these granulated dots. Kind of reminds me of how a Batman would work in a way. So very cool. I think this would be a really nice male to get, especially the fact that the price right now is very favorable. So we talked about this one too. I think it might have been one of our last ones on the Tuesday auction. But that would be this black pastel lesser double het hypo sunset. And we were just talking about a female maybe to get for that male, that pastel right there. Well, look no further. That's a pretty nice one. There we go. This is, like I said, it is a girl, and less than 24 hours left. I think is it the same? No, that's the same price. I was about to say this is the same price. But another good one, another good gene to pair with sunset is hypo. Obviously, the male does not have it. But if you're trying to breed them together, you would possibly hit sunsets. You can test the babies. They'd all be 50% het hypo, and you keep ones that prove out as het hypo, and then you're working a really cool project there. Because hypo helps clean up animals. And what did I say about sunset? The only thing that they ever get accused of is that they brown out, and it's really easy to combat. That's the whole point of all this. If we stopped at one gene, then what are we doing? So pairing them together and getting these cool combos is what it's all about anyway. And it's like I said, I've already seen it. Just banana and sunset. I'm good. That's amazing. So you get hypo into there, I think it's going to really shine as well. Black pastel, I think would be good as long as it can be reined in as well in the sunset combo. So very cool. I think that these two together would be a really, really cool boost to a lot of people's breeding plans. Hey there, Sarah. How you doing tonight? This one's really sharp. I really like this one. That would be this Calico Orange Dream Fire Hidden Gene Woma Clown. And it is a really busy pattern. Really busy. Kind of reminds me of some of these like retics or boa patterns that I've seen. So no reserve on this girl either. I think that it will go for, well, they always go for a little bit more, no doubt, but another one, less than 24 hours left. So this is a lot of, I think everything we've gone through so far is ending tomorrow or sooner. So Calico is one that we had a Calico once, and I moved along from him. But Calico brings up a lot of these like speckled sides a lot, and it creates some fading in there. I see different examples of it. Sugar, it does the exact same thing, only I feel like it's even more potent. Orange Dream is what's bringing a lot of that orange tint, no doubt, especially with the granulation you see on the stripes that come through here, and any of the pattern that jumps into this. Hidden Gene Woma, I won't lie, I'm not well versed in. It is it is a spider complex gene, but it doesn't have any. I know that you can't pair it with certain things. It's one of those, but I don't think it's it's known for too much, and I think that it can have some of that wobble, but that is, we've said it before, it is a inner ear issue. Actually, they basically have vertigo, for lack of a better term, but typically, it's nothing too crazy. They are nice, and they help with this rusty type tone that you're seeing in this animal, creating kind of like a frosty type color overall on this whole thing. So it's a really nice girl here. I think everything here just comes together quite well. Just remember, just do your research when you're pairing any gene in the spider complex to another gene in the spider complex. If that were a thing that you were to do, it's usually not. But just make sure you do it, because there are some nasty surprises in store for you if you do not. I think she is absolutely gorgeous. So, alrighty. Here's a more simple one, but we just talked about the Hurricane. I promised we'd come back to it. Would be this Hurricane Het Clown. And this gives you a good example of what Hurricane does. It really just kind of makes that pattern a little bit wacky. I often hear it compared to leopard, and it does jumble it up, but not like leopard. Leopard is also a darker one too. It makes all the blacks really black, and I say it jumbles up even more. This more or less kind of distorts everything in the pattern quite a bit. You can see a lot of that right here with this like safety pin or whatever the heck this is. These floating it's like a lamp. Yeah, you can see this is something wonky going on here for sure, and it's really nice, but it doesn't like inherently darken the animal at all either. Being in Het Clown as a female too is really ideal, because Hurricane Clown just go together very, very nice. So they are this is basically kind of where I wanted to show you what a Hurricane Clown can look like, and they're absolutely gorgeous. And yes, this is a visual clown. I know you might look at those eye stripes and say, well, no, it can't be. But look closely at those eye stripes. Those are not technically the eye stripes. We're going to blow it up here. I keep forgetting to do that. So, they're very, very thick, and they're wavy too. That's just pattern. For whatever reason, Hurricane Clowns do that. When you hit the visual, it's cool. It's unique. And then just look at like some of the colors and shading on this animal here. This was one of the ones that we saw at the Tinley show, and we put it in our top 5 actually. It's very nice. Incredible shading. That was my big takeaway from this, is the shading that this brings in. It looks like little shadows behind every single pattern. Just absolutely incredible. So that's the sort of things I think about. I take inspiration from that when I look at something like this even. And it looks cool, don't get me wrong, but like it's deceiving in how a visual version of this, but of course this does have a little bit more in it. But either way, how you can get something that's even in the realm of how awesome that is. Just look at the flashback between the two of these. It's just nuts. Absolutely gorgeous though, and this is the sort of thing that these are the sorts of things you can create with the right amount of mixture of genetics when you get an animal like this. I don't think this will go for an astronomical amount, and that's why I like showing this off, because I like to show off to everybody who can, in different walks of this. Sometimes people are just watching because they're interested, and that's cool. But sometimes people, obviously, you want to do this, but you have a limited income, and I say, why should that stop you from making cool stuff? That doesn't mean you have to put two normals together. In fact, I don't recommend it at all. I think you should still go for passionate things. Maybe your odds won't be as good, but you'll still make cool things in the meantime, and you'll learn a lot along the way. So these next ones are pretty exciting. In fact, we got to go back to our video here in just a little bit. These ones, I think, from Hognoses. Yep. And that would be a double het Desert Ghost puzzle. We were talking about puzzles in Desert Ghost earlier. I promised that I would come back to them, and well, here we are. This female here, being a double het, might not seem like much, but she has the potential to make something incredible. So the next animal, also from Hognoses, that we want to talk about would be this leopard double het DG puzzle boy, and you can see where I'm going here. You buy the two of these together from the same breeder, and you have them shipped together. Save some money on that shipping, and suddenly you are able to make things like, where are you? There we are. Our number 3 pick, which is exactly what we were talking about earlier, a pastel Desert Ghost puzzle. Now that is, there's no pastel, ironically, in what we just talked about in these two together, but leopard's in there, and leopard could bring a completely different thing in there. It'd probably make this even more dark. I'd be interested to see what it would do, because leopard's a pattern disruptor. And Desert Ghost is too, but at the very least, I know it would darken the animal up quite a bit. Probably make this even more wonky. But this is incredible. I absolutely love this combo. So when people say pastel is a bad gene. They're wrong. I'm sorry, but they're wrong. It's just an it's an overrepresented gene. It's in the wrong things. That's what I say. But this is absolutely incredible. And again, that's the sort of stuff you can kind of start flirting with in this. You put these two animals together and it is double het together. You're going head to head each time. So your odds are not perfect. Anytime you miss, you'll be 66% het on what you missed. And then of course you will, you'll know if you hit because you'll see it. The puzzle is very easy to see. Desert Ghost is very easy to see. So, very, very cool. I'm very interested to see what that would be with Leopard. I wonder if somebody has done that Desert Ghost puzzle Leopard. It's very likely out there, but like I said, this is kind of what I think about when I see that the two of those genetics paired together. You're still going to get this crazy pattern, this beautiful contrast. It just wouldn't be quite as yellow, I'd say. It would still be very bright, but it'd probably even be more bold in the blacks. You see there's just a tad bit of fading here. I'd say that the Leopard would wipe that right on out. This would be very bold where it is black. So take a look at the comments and then we'll move along. We're making good time today. Like I said, this is going to be a little bit shorter one. Short for us, still going to be close to an hour probably.
Actually, I'm pretty good.
Am I? Okay.
At the rate you're going at, it'll be about 50 minutes.
Okay. There we go. That'll be the
Okay, maybe not 50, but...
Okay. Well, that'll be the shortest ones we got. Like I said, we've got a lot going on here. That's why we're doing it live instead of uploading it as its own video. Because we just don't have time between all this stuff. We're filming for the second night in a row for a lot of the Halloween video that's gonna hopefully come out on Sunday, but no promises. If not Sunday, Tuesday. Let's see here. That snake is fabulous. Her clean clowns. Yep, amen there. Accomplished. A truck. You fixed your truck. Awesome. Yeah, I learned to do a lot of housework and whatnot because I got tired of spending money on people to come do that. So I learned electricity and everything, and we're actually going to be renovating our shed to put rats out there. So look at Leo puzzles. Leo should be in all puzzles. I'll have to. I'm pretty sure I know I've seen it, but I just it's not recalling a memory right now. I'll do it here actually. Leopard puzzles. Leopard. Come on. Puzzle. Well, that was really dumb of me. Every single time, and I'll bring you along for the journey. When I forget to type ball python, what happens? Oh, heck yeah. Zooming in. I'm not going to zoom in. I'm just whisper at me zooming in. I'm going to show the whole video. Alright, where is this? Left fire confusion puzzle. Here's a leopard fire confusion puzzle. That's wild. That's got fire in it and confusion though too. Confusion's even more nuts. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Wonder if this would be some of those. I know I've seen these videos. It's just been a little bit. Okay, just a puzzle. I'm trying to skim the video for all of us, obviously. Leopard puzzle, there we go. So which one's the leopard puzzle? This one. Yeah, so it's very dark. So imagine that now with the try to get it into focus here. With the Desert Ghost, it would be even more bold. It would just be so incredibly powerfully bold. What is this masterpiece? Well, there you go. That isn't even that puzzle. I'm assuming we're gonna get there. That's how Justin likes to build his videos, suspensefully. Building up to the main event. Yeah, very, very nice stuff. So, yeah, no, leopard puzzle works. That is for sure. Alright. What are let's see. What are your thoughts on GHI? I love it. One of my favorites. It's I love granulation, and GHI does it in a way that no other one does, because it brings in a shadowing feature that you really don't see on anything else. It's incredible, and it pairs well with almost every single thing. It's absolutely beautiful. It pairs well with itself. Super GHIs are great. Mojave GHIs are a classic combo. So let's see. You posting them on Morphmarket. I don't know if that was for Sarah. Was that for me? Am I posting? I'll be posting a lot on Morphmarket. I gotta get through these next 2 weeks. I got so much shows and whatnot, and then I gotta throw some stuff up on Morphmarket. But yeah. Oh, his. Well, if he sells them at all, they're the top of the line. They are worth quite a bit. His animals. So, not everything, but he still sells at normal prices. But a lot of the stuff he makes are top notch. So, you actually literally said top notch. So yeah, you get it. And yeah, they have a nice arrowhead for sure. Yeah, black pastel, red stripe GHI is life. Yeah, 100%. It really brings in all that where the shading happens when you get those two in there. It just creates this nice, cool, rusty looking color. So very, very cool. All right, we're going to. Oh, we already talked about these ones, but there's your ingredients right there. I accidentally closed the page. I'm not trying to find it again, but you've seen it. All right, moving right along to this pastel leopard yellow belly, 66% het clown, 50% het pied. This is a girl, and the reason I put this on here is that it's an opportunity, and again, it's going to be a little bit cheaper. I imagine this will go for not a whole bunch, quite frankly. Looks great in and of itself, but let's face it. Realistically, you are wanting to hit on those genetics. Definitely send in a 2 genetic test. You can actually get deals when you do more than one. And in fact, if nobody knows this, if you get this animal, for example, you definitely want to do a shed test on it. It's likely to be at least one of them, if not both. We have a code that you can use. If you type code Rhino, you'll just pay for you'll get the cheapest genetic. I think they're very close to the same price anyway, if not just slightly off of each other. But you pay for one genetic test and you get the other one for free. The way that would work is you just type the code you'd pay for the most expensive one, or if it's the equal amount, it's let's say het clown is 50 and pied is 50. You'd pay for the clown, and then in the notes you'd say, using code Rhino, and then you would say what genetic you're testing for on that snake right there. So yeah, definitely take advantage of the code that we got for you and save some money if you do pick up a girl like this. You can use it for anything. You can use it on ones you have right now. So regardless, this is going back to this animal though. It's definitely a cool opportunity if someone wanted to work into these genes. It is a bit of a chance, but being a girl, at the very least, I feel like there's always a use if you were to get an animal like this, and I think it's going to go for a very favorable price, like very favorable if I had to guess. You got about 2 days, just under 2 days to find that out, but I think that for the right person, it can be a cool opportunity to start making clown pieds possibly, and leopard and yellow belly being in the mix is very, very helpful as well. I think that those two pair very well together in clown or in pied, quite frankly, and when they're together, obviously it's even better. So they have dropped in price a bit, clown pieds that is, but that's because they were at a rate that was quite a bit as of a year and a half ago. They were still holding a pretty good value, but now they've come down, but they're still there's still a decent amount. And quite frankly, you know, a double recessive, after a while, after it's been worked for a while and they're everywhere, I mean, supply and demand. That is the name of the game. And ball pythons, if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of them because people really like them. And after a while, if someone works, you know, these, same thing with the Batman, and that's not even a double recessive. But after a while, you know, these prices do come down, and that's okay, in my opinion. They still hold a decent value. They're just not in the thousands, really, anymore, I would say. Maybe the females, but not the males, that's for sure. But this still could be a cool opportunity for someone to get it at a very favorable price, so. $10. Yeah, you can afford that one. The shipping, though, you know, it's don't ever forget the shipping. Does it have to be a full shed for sending it in? No, it does not. Honestly, it can be just what you want to do is when you collect the shed is you want to make sure that you get it as soon as possible from the animal, that shed, and you want to leave it out and straighten it out as much as you can. Just keep it straightened and cleaned. By cleaned, I don't mean wash it, right? Do not do that, but just kind of, you know, get it out of any junk that it might also be in, that snakes also like to do when they shed, and straighten it out and let it dry. Then you'll just take I mean, you can honestly take the size of a quarter, but usually what I do is I take like a healthy chunk, maybe about the size of your index finger in terms of width, and you know, that's really it, honestly. Yeah, I see what you're saying. The clown pies, I understand going kind of downhill in terms of pricing, but I still think that they show a lot of interest. Every single time I see a clown pie, it's being bid on or being bought at a price, not at the price that they were, but at a price. So there's a lot of interest there. I don't think that they're ever gonna go away. They're gonna bottom out at a certain amount because they're everywhere now. I mean, they're not hard to make. So, but I still think they're gonna get a good amount. And I work albino pied and candino pied, and they've come down. When I started, they were still getting like $1,500. I made my money's worth on those quite a bit, and I still plan on working on them. They're cool. But they're not doing $1,500 no more. And, you know, but I still don't mind making them. I like it. So, have you seen the Snow Unsold? I think I know which one you're talking about. Unknown Soldier. If you're talking about here on Morphmarket, let me try and find it. I think somebody has it up as the most expensive snake. At least it was. If it's what I'm thinking of. Yep. And you can see here, like at first glance, it almost looks like it's an all-white snake, but you look here, those aren't shadows. It's, I don't know if it's paradoxing or what. And they market it quite well. I mean, this picture with this orchid or whatever it is, that's pretty darn good marketing right there. But you can kind of see here, it's got like these, it literally looks like snow on top of a mountain. I don't know if that's paradoxing or what. Like you can see it here, that's pink. That is the color pink. Like, that's not pinkish. You know how us ball python breeders are like, yeah, this is red, and it's really just like orange rust. But that's pink. That is the color pink. And I've never seen that much pink ever. Ball python. Whether it's worth $30,000 or not, I will leave you to be the the decision makers on that. However, I will tell you that what was it, 15, 20 years ago, people were paying $25,000 to $40,000 reportedly for banana ball pythons. Just banana ball pythons. And that's $40,000 that many years ago. So, yep. This one is very, very nice, though. Very, very cool, and one of the most unique ones I've ever seen. So, dang, I don't think did we show this one off in our unique ball pythons thing? I don't think it was up at the time, was it?
I don't think so. I definitely don't remember it.
Maybe it's time for a part 2. But yeah, very, very cool. Glad someone mentioned it. So. We did show it. See, I do too many videos.
I don't remember. I'm being honest, I usually forget what video I did even 2 weeks ago.
Well, now we're caught up. We used to do videos week to week, but now we're so caught up ahead of times. Like, people will ask me what's coming out, and I'm like, I don't know. All right.
Sitting on like 3 egg cuttings right now.
Yeah, and in fact, we're supposed to do the snake or the Halloween video tonight, so I was like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and go live with this. And I went into my incubator to go look at ones that are about to shed, and I have ones hatching 2 days early. So obviously we have to film another one tonight on top of making our Halloween video. But anyways, let's talk about what you see in front of you here, because this is a really cool opportunity. That would be this pair of animals. There's a male asphalt het sunset and a female yellow belly het sunset. Now, why is this super cool? Because one is yellow belly and one is asphalt. From Jersey Guy Balls, they're really cool people, wonderful breeders. You can make freeway sunsets. I mean, has that been done? That sounds cool as heck. Freeway sunset. Well, I did it again. Forgot to write bull python, so here's a freeway sunset. Sunset Boulevard. I'm assuming that's what he means by this. I don't think I've seen this video. Or is he talking about going for that? Let's see. Those are definitely some freeways. Or is that one? I don't think it would be one. And I have to watch this video afterwards in with actual sound on. But yeah, very, very cool. It's always nice to know when you have an asphalt, because when you pair the freeways, it always passes. They're allelic, so it's always going to pass either asphalt or yellow belly, and you won't know which one unless you do a genetic test, because they do the exact same darn thing, at least by themselves. Together, if you make a super version, they do not. Asphalts create this crazy cool pattern, and yellow bellies create basically an all white snake with black eyes. Having sunset in it is also incredibly useful. I don't know how much these will go for. They should go for more. It's still got some time yet left, but I'm surprised to see it at only $40, especially from Jersey Balls. There's a potential chance to go for some really cool stuff here. So, down to our last 3 for the day. Before we do this, I'm gonna look at the comments. I don't think there's any more. Thank you for your time. I appreciate that. Thank you all for always showing up. But yeah, I got another redhead here, and this is a really cool one. Banana, redhead, pastel, possible lace het clown, from Bull Python Shed. Redhead is a very subtle gene by itself, but it is incredible when you get it into combos. It's another one of those types of genes. Lace is also kind of the same way. It's very subtle by itself, but again, when you get it into genetics and when you get it into combos, these things just start to snowball. It's like a glue that just puts together this amazing, beautiful picture. Both of them together, being in a female and being het clown, redhead clowns, lace clowns, these all work incredibly well together. Just the banana redhead, that's enough to make me want to really love this animal and get this animal. The fact that it could possibly be lace, that is outstanding. that would be a game changer for anybody. Because if you've seen the white laces when you get the super forms of them, oh, they're so nice. They're so nice. They make everything super nice and super bright. I can't imagine also getting redhead on top of all that into that combo. And remember, when you get banana in a female, it gets rid of that goofy rule that banana has, where all the males, mostly all the males, create just males. Because they're male makers. The females, they're normal, so they're gonna always pass 50-50 like regular. The males are the ones that occasionally will be either female makers or male makers, and when by occasionally I mean almost all banana males, they're almost always male makers, unless someone calls it out. They literally will say female makers. It is basically part of the sales price is what I'd say. So all right, 2 more to go, and we're back on to puzzle. That would be this pastel orange dream puzzle, possible head hypo. This is a really cool animal. This might be one of the better ones that we're showing off today, quite frankly. This male here has a bit of punch to him, in my opinion. If you want to work the puzzle project, this is a great one to get, because you can throw that hypo in there as well. That would make this even more bright. You saw what the Desert Ghost looked like earlier. Hypo is somewhat similar. It just kind of brightens the animal up and creates this ghostly type look. In fact, their other name for hypo, nickname anyways, was Ghost. That was the name for the longest time. That's what I always used to call it. I didn't call it hypo. I thought hypo was just like, why? Ghost sounds so much cooler. But then Desert Ghost blew up around that time. And then it got really confusing. So the people kind of started going back to the hypo name. So, but this is an incredibly cool bright animal, and look how much pattern it has. A pattern on the top, and it has these hourglass type patterns on the side. This is crazy cool. These little bow ties, that's what they look like. They look like little bow ties and perfect stars. Look at that. I wish there was. They are. Look at that along the back. This thing's a carnival. That is so cool. The price is really nice right now, but of course you have 2 days left. Lots can change in that time. But immediately this being possible head hypo, I'm not sure if I caught that or not, being possible head, but that is, you send that in for a shed test to determine if what direction you're going. But just by itself, this is a perfect example of how puzzle does work, or pastel does work good with puzzle, very, very well. It's nice, clean. Puzzle is underrated. A lot of people just look at it and go, oh yeah. And I say underrated, and you might think, what are you talking about? It is not underrated, but I'm gonna make my defense here. I'm gonna die on this hill. It's underrated. The reason I say it's underrated is because I hear people talking about, like, oh yeah, it's really cool, and they do, does all this pattern stuff, but I don't hear enough people talk about what it does for the color. And it does do something for the color. Yes, the Orange Dream is definitely helping a bit here, but Orange Dream doesn't clean animals up. This is nice and clean. You already saw what Pastel did with Puzzle earlier. Just this, let me go back to the part. There you go. They work so well together. This would be a really cool male to get if you want the puzzle project, and I highly recommend you do work the puzzle project. This dude here is just incredible. I can't get over the little stars on his back and the little bow ties. Bull Python Shed always makes really great stuff. So, alright, last one for the day. Wanted to show it off, and I had to have something in there that was going to end on Sunday, right? Because everything else was like the next 2 days. And that would be this Rainbow Super Inchy Orange Dream Girl. Now, there is a reserve price on this. I don't think any other ones have had a reserve price up until this one. Maybe I'm mistaken. Can't even remember what happened moments ago, apparently. But this Rainbow, if you don't know what it is absolutely awesome. So it is a it's okay. So it's a lavender gene, like an albino type gene. But in my opinion, it's the best of the lavender type albinos. So the regular lavender side, or sorry, albino side. It it is better than lavender albino. It's just rarer, and that's why there's a reserve price on this. You can see what it can do. It almost flirts with, well, the colorings of like ultramel and stuff like that, just by being put into this. Super Enchi and Orange Dream, or Enchi in general and Orange Dream, work incredibly well together. So if you wanted, if you can beat the reserve price, Rainbow would be a really nice one to get into. Like I said, I truly do believe that it is the best of all of the lavender or the normal albino looks. If you're looking for some lavenders to come in, I mean, this is a baby and it's already just these colors just pop so incredibly well. Such a beautiful, beautiful animal. And I mean, like I said, let's see the eye stripes on this thing. Can we get a side shot? I think it does have eye stripes. At first I was like, does it even have them? At that point you could trick somebody that's clown. It's just from head down it almost looks like it, right? So with reserve prices, I always say just a bit up to where you think that where you're comfortable. So let's say you're comfortable at $1,000, and yes, rainbows go for that, if not more, quite frankly, in some cases. But don't bid $1,000 on this animal. That would be very foolish. Bid it up to $1,000 in increments. And if you beat the reserve price and you're comfortable getting to that price, great. But you could stop early. Let's just say somehow it was $700. You'd feel really silly to find out that you just wasted $300 for nothing, right? So just bid your way up slowly, because this is not eBay. And once you type in your max bid, that is the bid. So start off. If you're this is gonna go over 100. It's gonna go over 500. Quite frankly, it's gonna go. There's a good chance that this animal doesn't actually go. Technically, though, it has a reserve price, so that means that if it doesn't reach that reserve price, that it just goes. It just doesn't sell. It just voids the auction at the end. So, but I always like showing them anyways. It doesn't make a difference, and I've seen rainbows on here without a reserve, by the way. Not super duper common, but we've seen them 2 or 3. So, alrighty, that is it for today. But I'm gonna go ahead and go through the last of the comments here. Hey there, Sean. How are you? Give a heads up. We're putting a female monsoon up in auction the first week in November. Oh, that's awesome. We put one up and it was 100 away from reserve. That's really, really cool. Yeah, I think I've only seen a monsoon a couple times on here. Not sure if it ever went. Not sure if it ever beat the reserve, but I don't think I've seen. There's definitely not on here very, very often, but we definitely keep an eye out for that. That'd be really cool. Pastel puzzle. But yeah, that's what we were just looking at actually too. Yeah. And they're so nice. And that one, if you have one that actually has head hypo, it's guaranteed too. That's nice. Break zone didn't make the cut. Oh, do you have one in auction? I might have missed it. I'm tired. Like I said, we're running ragged right now. So give yourself a shout out. Let it be known real quick before we go. Let me try to find it. Wish I could chat right here too, but you can post links too, right?
Yeah, I can.
It's fine. I'll do a little bit of plan. Let's take a look. Give us just a moment. I want to reserve $100 away. Oh, that had to be heartbreaking. I don't know if they have it yet on here. I don't think they do, where you can like reach out to the seller. I still need to actually throw one on auction. Of all these auction videos I do, I've bought plenty. I've never thrown one up on auctions. Are we allowed to promote our own auction? We're like, hey, look at this guy. Let's see, I'm waiting for Shed. I'll update pictures. Okay. Let's take a look. Type it in and try to find it right now for you. Oops. I hope if I didn't search for you in the traits. Why is it not loading here? It's like... It's gonna go. Alright, I'm tracking that down right now. I think I can sort by auctions from this page right here. Oh, that didn't work. My brain is running on so little sleep right now. I'm trying to figure it out. Right, you said 69 hours? That's actually going to be a lot easier for me. Thank you. Some pics you can see here on our Morphmarket Old Troy City reptiles. You know, I'll try and look that up too for you, man. So a couple more things before we let everyone go for the day. I just love how they add
RK Exotics.
Yeah, I got it here. Looks like it just went up. I think you actually went live or went up with it probably right before we went on the video. Yeah, because my last one was this one right here. I think. Let me see, where'd it go? Oh no, it was up here. You know, give him some love. Spot nose, yellow belly, clown. Those are two genetics that are part of the Pompeii. So think about it that way. The other two are red stripe and black pastel. And I'm gonna look up the other one you got there. Bear with me just a moment, everybody. Okay, so that was a monsoon. Female monsoon. I see one. Just want to make sure it's the right one. It's a 50% head hypo. That'd be nice. All right, I think we found it. Yeah, so I didn't know it was 50% head hypo too. That adds even more. Because I'm of the monsoon is amazing. I'm of the mind that color is the best way to go about it. Because I mean, like, where do you go with the pattern from here? I'm sure there's something somebody can figure out, but like, wow. So like coloring or like with hypo, something that brightens or changes the shading and stuff like that. So yeah, monsoon is the most nutty pattern that you can get with ball pythons. It's insane. We've got a het monsoon here. At least we're pretty positive that it's a het monsoon. So very, very, very cool. All right, keep going through here. Finish up the comments here. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Breakstone. Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I always find a lot of fun, you know, in breeding and such like that. So, you know, creating all these animals and stuff like that. So, I'm happy you got back into it. That's for sure. But all right, I think we're gonna cut it off there. Again, you know, thank you everybody for joining. It's a lot of fun doing these things. It's been, you know, this is our first time doing it on a Thursday, so you know we were kind of wondering how it would be. Plus, we joined really late too.
Probably the most consistent one.
Yeah, we joined like super duper late too. It started at 8 or whatever.
It's between 28 and 32 viewers for like 45 minutes straight.
Hey, I appreciate everybody's support. That's awesome. So, you know, again, appreciate everybody coming to view always. No auction video tomorrow because we did it now. We did it live.
The uncut should go up tomorrow.
The uncut should be tomorrow, and then we're hoping that the top reptiles would be Saturday, and that the Halloween video will be Sunday. We really, really want that to happen, but we're not going to sacrifice the quality of the video and rush it out. So, if that doesn't happen, the Halloween video will probably be on Tuesday, no later than Wednesday. And then the Sunday video would actually be the top 5 reptiles. And what we mean by top 5 reptiles, by the way, are the top 5 reptiles at the Tinley show. So check that out. It's non-ball pythons. We gave the ball pythons their own video. Now, we love ball pythons. We're a ball python channel.
I think.
Yeah, but reptiles, the other reptiles, they're outstanding. And there's one that I've never seen in person, like ever, other than maybe a zoo. They're super duper rare. It's our number 1 pick because they're incredibly rare, and I've never heard of anybody breeding them into captivity until now. So check that video out. And then our uncut, you saw our walkthrough. What was that, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? I don't even know what time it is anymore.
I don't remember.
But that was a full POV walkthrough, so it lets you go row by row of the entire Tinley show. It was like, okay, I didn't get to go. I can vicariously go and watch this video and say, hey, I spent the day at Tinley. But this one is a bit different. It's not as long. It's more just a bunch of up close, very detailed shots. So they're better. They're better quality, quite frankly. The quality of the shots are going to be better on it. The whole point of the walkthrough is that obviously we want to be as detailed as possible, but you know, we still got to go through the whole show. This is when we go back and we just take some crazy nice detailed shots of everything. So check those out. Those will be coming out over the weekend for sure, those ones, and then hopefully our Halloween one, which we always have a lot of fun with. It'll you know, of course we do a whole thing. You know, we do an actual, you know, topic, but we sprinkle in some crazy horror themed things. We love horror here. we come up with these ideas, and you know, we were kind of struggling for a little bit on this one, but I think we finally got it together here. I'm pretty happy with it, I think so. And you know, if you didn't check out our last 2, check those out. The first one was very educational. It was pretty much fully educational about fear of, you know, really about like snakes in general. And then the BBC claimed it because we dared to call them out in it, so that was really cool. And then the next one was like a found footage. So yeah, check them out before you do this one. It'll be coming out for sure within a week. So you know, hope everybody thought it was Tuesday for 2 seconds. Yeah, I wish it was. I need more time. Mandarin clowns or Halloween. Yeah, anything that looks Halloween, super nice. But all right, we're gonna call it there. Hope everybody in.
Last quick thing, real quick. A couple weeks ago, people suggested making a Discord server. It's about halfway through being created.
Yeah, there was I'll have to call him out. He actually messaged me on either Facebook or Instagram, and then he jumped into the chat. So you know, that's credit to him. I wasn't even thinking about that, but we're gonna have a Discord live.
That's actually what I've been doing during most of these streams. So
Yeah,
I don't just sit here and do nothing.
whatever. All right, everybody. You all have a great night. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you in the next one. And check out our videos of the weekend.